My name is Daniel Jackson, and this is my book report on Born a Crime. Chameleon. Throughout this novel, Trevor had to blend in with his surroundings in order to survive. This is very similar to a chameleon, which blends in with its surroundings in the wild in order to survive. There are multiple instances in this book that Trevor blends into his surroundings. One instance is the fact that some family members of Trevor treated him as white, even though he was mixed. He even took advantage of this fact and even quite enjoyed it. He mentioned on page 52, there were so many perks to being white in a black family, I can't even front. I was having a great time. Chameleon Part 2. Another instance is at Trevor's school. He was the only mixed child, and he was almost shown of as a prize by his friends. This allowed Trevor to blend in and become well known by the black population which he was trying to befriend. This is shown on page 58. For the rest of recess, Theson took me around to different black kids on the playground. Show them your trick, do your language thing. All in all, having an ability like this would be nice, however, it may also have its toll. While on one side, it is nice to be able to blend into any scenario and be safe, but the downside is you are doing just that, being safe. You don't take any risks, and it ends up being boring. Fitting in. It is important and necessary to fit in. If you don't have a group you can relate with, it is almost like you don't have a meaning or a place of belonging. I feel as if a majority group-wide acceptance is what is necessary for membership to any group. If you are well liked by the group, it is hard to find reasons not to let you in. Cultural chameleon. I am half Panamanian. A large majority of my life, I have felt like a cultural chameleon. I look around and only see one or two Hispanics in my honors classes while being surrounded by white people. Instances like this make me uncomfortable because I don't know if I should be upset that there aren't a lot of fellow Hispanics, but comfortable with the fact that I'm surrounded by white people, which I can relate to. It is an internal struggle because I can't relate completely to one side or another, so I just bounce between the two like a cultural chameleon. Fishing. He places the responsibility in others. He uses this because it allows people to build relationships with other people, thus creating connections among cultural gaps, similar to how Andrew helped him. Childhood. When I was younger, I lived with my 5 other siblings. Because of this, my house was sort of a little democracy with a specific set of rules. My sisters kind of did their own thing, but me and my brothers had a system. Stephen, the oldest boy, was in charge of me and my older brother, James. He made sure when we were given things to share that they were evenly split among us both. He was always in charge, even when it came to punishments. My parents gave him full control, and sometimes he abused that power. All in all, though, he was always fair. Past Andrew. I was an Andrew pretty recently. I obviously recently graduated and was asked to speak some words of wisdom to my younger friends. I told them some advice about middle and high school and to learn the true meaning in the relationships you make with others, and just some tips to get through hard times. Society. A huge issue of society to me is discrimination against Hispanics and Latinos. People call us horrible terms, but us Hispanics truly aren't bothered by these terms. The harsh reality, though, is we seem to just be getting walked all over. Our fishing rod would be to simply stand up for ourselves and turn down these horrible terms. I'm particularly close to this issue because I've been called these horrible terms, but haven't really cared enough to speak up at the time. I know that is bad, but it is unfortunately my cold truth.